Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about the state of play in the other fire drill taking place in the federal courts this week, today, which is Trump's efforts to keep the Jack Smith report from being made public. All right, we've got a little bit of a tangled procedural setting. I'll summarize. I don't want to spend too much time, but hopefully it's clear enough. The Trump folks want to keep the report from becoming public, which Garland has said generally he would do. They go to the 11th Circuit saying, you've got the Mar-a-Lago case now, as they do, because Cannon had dismissed it, as everyone remembers, and that was on appeal. And that means the sort of case file, the actual case, is with the 11th Circuit now. And they go and ask for emergency relief for the 11th Circuit to order the report not go forward based on prejudice to, not to Trump, who jumps in as an amicus, but the parties there are the remaining two defendants because Trump has been dismissed. So it's Nauta and De Oliveira who ask the court to do this. So there's that. And then simultaneously, just because why not, they file it in front of their friend Eileen Cannon, who, without even asking for a reply, boom, grants an injunction, tells the DOJ it can't do anything until the 11th Circuit rules, and 3 days thereafter. That 3 days thereafter is completely lawless. Once the 11th Circuit has ruled, she can't somehow just say 3 more days, and 3 more days really matter here in the timing of things. Okay, but it was pretty clear that the DOJ's stance was, there are 2 volumes to the report. There's the January 6th and the Mar-a-Lago. January 6th, we're going to release, and I'll get back to that in a moment. Mar-a-Lago, we are not going to release while Nauta and De Oliveira are in the case. That's pretty standard. The case isn't over yet, and it could prejudice them. So they basically chose to ignore Cannon, just go to the 11th Circuit, oppose that special emergency relief request from Trump, and didn't really speak to this injunction that Cannon had entered, which, a federal judge has entered an injunction that purports to tell the DOJ not to do anything. Okay. The 11th Circuit did something kind of interesting. Basically, it denied Nauta and De Oliveira's request for a special emergency stay on Jack Smith. They say we're not doing that, which effectively should be the end of the story for any compulsion to the DOJ. But we still have hanging out there Cannon's lawless injunction that purports to last for 3 days until Thursday. And the 11th Circuit said in its order, 2-sentence order, we won't give you that special relief, Nauta and De Oliveira, but for you, DOJ, if you want to kind of undo her order, you got to appeal it to us, which you haven't done. So DOJ immediately did file a notice of appeal, and they now have that in front of the 11th Circuit. And you have to imagine the 11th Circuit will rule promptly. It's actually intriguing. Why did the 11th Circuit, which could have easily enough just said, DOJ, you're free and clear to release volume 1, which has nothing to do with this case, and we hear you that you're not going to release volume 2 anyway. Why did they say go appeal what Cannon had done? Maybe just persnickety on the procedure, because they hadn't exactly done this, and what was in front of them was just the motion for emergency relief. Maybe, and we should find out. They kind of want to have in front of them the appeal from Cannon's stay order, and I believe they will in fact reverse it, or just say we've already, come Sunday, it's going to be moot, so you can go ahead then now. But it may also be that they'll give some choice thoughts or comments about Cannon herself, maybe even. It certainly would be served up potentially to recuse, because this was a totally bogus injunction that she ordered. We'll see. It's intriguing. But in the meantime, the DOJ has moved the 11th Circuit to appeal the stay that Cannon entered and is on paper binds them. They've been saying we're going to comply with it, but I think the main reason is it's no skin off their nose, because they are not planning to release Volume 2 until if Nauta and De Oliveira are still in the case. And as far as Volume 1 goes, they ought to be free and clear come Sunday. So I expect Monday we are actually going to be seeing the public release of Volume 1 of the report from Jack Smith. Back, though, to Volume 2, they say we're not going to release it as long as they're parties. The question is that kind of serving up or revealing a plan to dismiss as to Nauta and De Oliveira? They got to figure Trump's going to pardon them anyway as soon as he comes into office. So why not just dismiss? It's a little funky to use that as the reason to dismiss. On the other hand, everything is uber funky at this point. So they may be planning to do it, and then the field would be cleared. Trump could try to fight, but the field would be cleared for them to release both volumes. In the meantime, Trump has a play to the U.S. Supreme Court if he wants to take it. The 11th Circuit refused, or at least Nauta and De Oliveira do. And I think even though Trump wasn't a party in the 11th Circuit, the Supreme Court rules wouldn't be too stretched for him to join. So what we should look for is whether Nauta and De Oliveira, which everyone would understand means Trump, or Trump, in fact, along with Nauta and De Oliveira, petitions the Supreme Court for emergency relief. Now, I don't see the court giving that. I mean, that's really a very weak kind of claim. What power do they have to tell the Attorney General he can't release a report to Congress? Again, as to Volume 1, which doesn't even mention them, and Smith has told the court doesn't cross-reference them or anything. So I think it would be, on the one hand, a fool's errand. On the other, it's never stopped him in the past. Who knows if he'll get a few votes on it? Who knows what general, could it delay a few days, etc. So that's the other ball to keep your eye on. Does Trump, now that we have, on the one hand, the DOJ at the 11th Circuit now saying reverse Cannon, and that would clear the field to release Volume 1 and Volume 2 as well if they dismiss Nauta and De Oliveira. And we have the possibility of another Supreme Court fire drill, which ought to be DOA, but we'll see who could vote for it, and what does he care, you might say. He should, because, you don't want to put too much pressure on the Supreme Court, and you want to save it for the times you'll need it, but he doesn't think in those ways. So maybe he'll actually bring a new fire drill motion for emergency action to reverse the 11th Circuit and say, Supreme Court, please tell Jack Smith and the DOJ they can't release this at all. So that's the other half to look at. For now, I think where we are going is, come Monday, it'll be free and clear for the Volume 1 to be released. It'll be, even by Cannon's own terms of the injunction, it'll have been 3 days and there'll be no impediment. And then as to Volume 2, they're not going to do it. They'll show a version to the 4 members of the Congress who are the main people for oversight, one Democrat and Republican in the Senate and the House. But the question there is, will they, in the few days remaining, it would be a final kind of quick play, dismiss as to Nauta and de Oliveira, and then release volume 2 to the public, which I think Garland and the DOJ would very much like to do before the new gang comes in, and their whole lookout, it's entirely clear, will be to just protect Trump and therefore keep the reports bottled up. Final point, I've said this before, but even if all that happens, I think there's a way in which these documents and reports tend to come out. So at the end of the day, and this may be a few months, I do think we'll be seeing it one way or another. Though there's going to be a lot of redactions there and the like. It'll be interesting what information we learn. When those come out, I'll be there to analyze them and give you my sense. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.